Online Trainers podcast, where we go behind the scenes to uncover the latest tactics and strategies top trainers around the world are using to get more clients, dominate their marketplace, and get their clients amazing results. There is absolutely no fluff here. I'm your host, Lynn Trin. Hello and welcome to episode 221 on the Online Trainers podcast. Today's topic is start training. So I've recently just taken on a new intern, and he's a very, very smart dude. He's 21 years old, lives over in the UK, and he's kind of asked me to take him on. He's reached out to me over the last 18 months, and we've had back and forths, and he's done some work for me in the past. And right now he's interning inside of our company because, one of his goals is to reach Russell Brunson's 2 Comma Club, which is, I think, a stupidly awesome goal. It's all really, really cool as well. And so he's been wanting me to help him for a long time. And I said, hey, dude, why don't you come and work with me? And that way you can kind of see what we do, and you can see how we build a movement, and you can see how we structure and set up coaching. And so he's come inside of the game of marketing. And this guy's very switched on. He's over in the UK, works like 20 hours a day. He sleeps for 4 hours. And he's run his own business in the past. And one of the things that he asked me was, Lynn, what's the mindset of a seven-figure entrepreneur? And I go, I never thought about it that way. Like, I never think of myself as a 7-figure entrepreneur. I simply think of myself as what's my current mindset. And it got me thinking to the difference between where I am today versus where I was a year ago versus where I was when I started the game. And I truly believe, and you and I both know, that to produce the results that you produce is a consequence of the person that you become. What I mean by that is, if you want to pull a 300 kilo deadlift, you have to become a person capable of pulling the 300 kilo deadlift. You don't just go, well, I want to pull it. How do I pull it? And you hack your way. It takes training. And so the mindset aspect, the person that I've become along the way, has been able to produce the 7 figures, gotten accolades, built a team, etc., right? And I go, well, what's the difference to where I was today? To give, when I was having a chat to him this morning, and I said, it's all in the training. And what I mean by that, and I hope you can take away some value from this, because I thought it was very, very important. The mindset that I had when I first started out was, I'm going to work. I'm going to work my guts out. I'm going to work harder than anyone else. I'm going to hustle. And what was funny about that was the mindset around me working back then was analogous to me going to the gym and go, I'm going to be at the gym for 2 hours. I'm going to be at the gym. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there for 3 hours. I'm going to be there at the gym for 5 hours. And so I want you to understand the difference, because I hopefully, as a fitness professional, you see the analogy between that. And we start to wonder, okay, cool. It's not really about the time that you put in. Yes, it is about the consistent time over time, but the time that you dedicate to that actual training session, no matter what you're doing, are you actually training? And one of the biggest reasons why I switched over and I started CrossFit, and I used to be the guy that did bodybuilding. Fuck, I competed, for God's sakes, right? But I moved over to CrossFit simply because I wanted to start training. I did not have that aspect to training by myself, that motivation, and I wanted to train, and I wanted to have that 1 hour block where I was pushed as hard as I could, and I knew that I needed that team component. I knew I needed to be told, shut the fuck up and just do the work, right? And so it's analogous to that, my intern, Rohan, over in the UK, he said, well, what's the different mindset? I'm working 20 hours. And I'm like, dude, you're working 20 hours, but you're not actually working, right? You're training 5 hours in the gym, but you're not actually training. The difference between where I was a year ago, 2 years ago, when I started, to where I am today is simply, it comes down to the intention behind the time. You see, you and I have 24 hours. But what I do inside of that 24 hours is probably a lot more intentional than what you accomplished in 24 hours or what I did a year ago. And I want you to see this because there are so many people working. They're supposedly working 20 hours. They're training for 5 hours at the gym, but I'm going to have them consider that they're not actually training. They're not training with intensity. They're not training with intention. They're not tracking and measuring. Heck, you and I both know that you could do 30 minutes of a workout non-stop and go, I'm going to chuck up. That's training. And then you do 30 minutes of the same thing again, and you try to beat it. You try to beat that score that you did, and then you recover, and then you go again, and you try to get better, because once you measure it, then and only then will you know how good you get. But if you don't have any intention behind the training, and you don't have any intention behind the working, well, you're simply just going to be wandering around. It's simply like life just, you're on the boat of life and life's just taking you on the current, and then holy crap, you fall off the waterfall, right? You're on the current of life where most people are with no intention. Now, the only thing that I've shifted is the intentional aspect to saying, if I'm going to get this done, I'm going to get it done. And if I don't, it's over. I'm done. I'm committed to my word. Most people work, and when they don't accomplish a task, they keep going. They allow themselves to open up that deadline and push forward simply because there's no consequence for not training. There's no end goal. There's no deadline. There's no start, finish, measure, track. Did I achieve the result? No. Screw it. Damn it. I need to improve. Next time I'll improve. And so the difference between where I was a year ago and where I was now was I worked the same amount of hours. I work. But the difference in my work is I accomplish a lot more because I take my deadlines a lot more seriously, because I'm actually working. I want you to think about this inside of your work, inside of your training, inside of every aspect of your life, and go, well, why might I not be accomplishing the same level of growth, the same goals? I see all these people winning around me, yet I'm not accomplishing the same goals. What are the tools? What are the tactics? Can you teach me how to plan? I'm like, there's nothing to plan. There's no tactic. There's no cheat code. What you need to do is you need to start doing, tracking, measuring, and improving. You can't do what I do. Not yet anyway. You got to build it up. You got to start training today. You got to start training tomorrow. You got to start measuring. You got to start tracking your performance. You got to start doing it again. And then in 30 days, you'll start to see a massive change. Now, a year from now, you'll see a radical shift. And I want to share this with you because inside of your business, that very same discipline needs to apply. The very same level of training and working inside of your business. You go, okay, did you achieve what you set out to achieve? If you were launching your ads on Facebook, did you actually achieve the accomplished? And how long did it take you? All right, cool. Let's do it again tomorrow. Let's measure. Let's set up another one. And then let's do it in 45 minutes. All right, let's do another one. Do it in 40 minutes. Oh, holy shit. Instead of shortening our time, I'll do 2 in 40 minutes now. And then I'll do 3. And then I'll write better ones in 40 minutes. And then guess what? Over time, you'll get so good at it. You'll accomplish goals. You'll move faster than everybody else. And everything else will be easy. I'm going to have you also just think about the fact that you're not where you currently are because every time you attempt something, you give up too soon. And every time you attempt something, you actually go, I don't know, and then you quit. I'm also considering this fact of where I am today versus where I was. The difference is simply I didn't give up. I just kept going. I kept figuring it out. I kept finding a way. I kept getting better. It was hard. It was difficult. I cried a lot of the times along the way. I burnt out. I ruined relationships with my wife. And then I learned. And then I made it better. And then I improved. What I am trying to tell you right now is that your problems right in front of you are your very biggest gemstones that you have to developing and growing as a leader. And if you begin to open up your eyes and see them for opportunity and not problems, opportunities to grow, opportunities to learn more, opportunities to do more, opportunities, life's way to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to give you a chance. Figure this out. And if you just begin to take that leap of faith, and you worked and you figured it out, in a year from now, you're going to have a substantial different business. And I'm going to talk about this a lot. And I'm speaking at a lot of events this year, and I'm going to be talking about this, the key to success. Now, it's not what I thought it was. And chances are right now inside of your mind, you're like, well, the key to success, I just want to be really rich. The reasons why I know that is because that's the way I used to think. I just want to impact people. I just want to have 1 million followers. That's success in my mind. And then you get there, and I want you to imagine you get there. Really imagine. So what? You have 1 million followers, what are you going to do? Do you even know the problems that you're going to have? You're still going to have problems. The reasons why I say this is because I talk to people that have 1 million followers every day going, Lynn, I need help. My Instagram reach has gone down. I can only reach like 1,000 people now. I used to be able to reach 100,000. What do? I'm not making any money. Have you thought about those problems? What about when you do have a lot of money? Be marketing, but nobody's getting results. You're not actually changing the world. You're having problems of fulfillment. You're making so much money. Now you've got all these clients, but they're not actually getting results, and now they're backlashing on you. Have you thought about that? Is that the version of success? Because what I'm trying to tell you here is simply this. Your version of success inside of your mind comes with one big picture and nothing else. Very, very narrow view, and mine was too. What I want you to realize now is that you're always going to have problems. The bigger you get, the bigger the problems. Success is how you deal with it. Success is whether or not you keep growing and learning. And there's going to be a switch that one day you're going to have to make. It's not that I'm not going to tell you, you're successful now. I'm not that guy. I'm saying, hey, get to your goal. But how you really become successful is you appreciate everything inside of your life and see it as all opportunity. That's how you're really, truly successful. And then funnily enough, when you reach that point, it doesn't matter anymore. All the shit that you wanted, it doesn't matter. You just keep growing and you're called to do it. So I want to share with you guys, mainly importantly, the mindset, the shift. I think it's important. If you're stuck, if you feel like, hey, you're burning out, if you feel like you're not moving forward, you're not getting traction, I'm going to have you consider that maybe there's a voice inside of your mind right now telling you that you should level the fuck up, that you should become a leader, that you should start talking about the things you want to talk about, that you should learn more, that you should grow more, that maybe you're not ready yet because your expectations around how you learn, how you grow, where you should be, you're aiming for the wrong thing. And the thing that you should be really aiming for is growth, learning, expansion. So I want you to think about that today, and hopefully this really helps you get some insight. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If it does, fantastic. And I want you to consider that there's a ton of people that can help, that you can help. But you need to make that switch first. The first person you need to help is yourself. Once you help yourself, fantastic, shift the world and move out of the paradox of the fitness industry where you're judged. You're judged by your peers. You're judged by everybody in the fitness industry. And so what? It feels good temporarily to judge people, to talk about people, to gossip. But one of the biggest things that I realized about that was gossiping and judging held myself back, because guess what? If I gossiped about others, that would be the thing that I feared the most said about me. And when you fear stuff being said about you, you're not going to rise. You're not going to rise to who you actually are, who you want to become. And so my message to you today is train, work, learn, be intentional. I want you to think about this right now. You want to become the 5%, the 1% of personal trainers that are in the top tier. You want the result of the 1%, the 6-figure business, the 7-figure business, the accolades. I want you to think about what the top 1% of athletes will do, what the 1% of gym goers do, what the 1% do in any industry. And I want you to adopt that. And I want you to go, well, there's why you might not be where you want to be. And I wish I could have said that to myself. I wish I could have slapped myself in the face and said, Lynn, you want to be the 1%, go and model the habits, the discipline, the training, the intention of what any 1%ers do, and then do that. Alright, if you enjoyed this podcast, please leave me a 5-star review on iTunes, and feel free to leave a review, and that way I can respond and I can take that on board in developing content to serve you. Now, if you're not a part of the Online Trainers Club on Facebook, please do yourself a favor and be a part of the conversation. That's where I add daily tips, tricks, and strategies on how you can build out funnels, how you can get more clients, and ultimately become a better online coach. Thank you for listening.